A very good day to all. Welcome back, dear students. Myself, Mrs. Nympha Mascarenhas, your biology lecturer. So, dear students, we all know that we are dealing with chapter number 5, that is of morphology of flowering plants. Okay. So, in this chapter number 5, we have the topics such as inflorescence, the flower, and the semi-technical description of a flower. Okay, so we have only 3 topics in case of chapter number 5. Okay, so you have studied about the inflorescence. Okay. So inflorescence is nothing but arrangement of flowers on the floral axis. Okay, this is about inflorescence. So based on the inflorescence, you studied about racemose and cymose inflorescence. So in my next video, you studied about the flower. Okay, so what are the different arrangements you see in case of flower? Okay, we found that, I'll repeat this topic again. Okay, we found that there are 4 holes in case of flower. Holes andre 4 circular arrangements. Okay, 4 different rows of circular arrangement which consist of calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. These are the 4 different circular rows which are arranged with each other. Okay, so basically there are 4 holes which are attached or which are found at the base of calyx, that is called as thalamus or receptacle. Okay, so here thalamus or receptacle is the one. Okay, just for imagination. If this is a pedicel, okay, you have the differentiation of pedicel and peduncle obviously. Okay, so now you can imagine a pedicel over here. Okay, this is a pedicel. Pedicel gives rise to calyx. Okay, and in the center of the calyx, you see a swollen phase or a swollen stage or a swollen position that is called as thalamus or receptacle. Okay, and from the thalamus and receptacle, all the different 4 holes arise. Is it clear? So that is about 4 holes which are arranged at the basal region at thalamus or receptacle. Okay, so that is about that. So here when we take a flower, you just go into a garden, pluck a flower and get it to your home. Okay, just do not pluck all the flowers whichever you look at the garden. Okay, just only pluck those flowers which are about to wither off. Okay, which are about to die off. Because the flower I told you which are about to wither off, they go on giving abscisic acid. Okay, if the flower goes on emitting abscisic acid, then the growth of the plant will be restricted or limited. You can see the plant may die off very early. Okay, that's why whenever you see a flower is to be withered off, okay, or else it is to be died off, you can cut those flowers and you can get it at home to study. Okay, I just request you all to take a flower in hand and sit and study to look how calyx looks, how corolla looks, how androecium and gynoecium looks. Okay, so when we take a flower, we find 2 different parts. One is accessory and other is the reproductive. So we know that accessory part is calyx and corolla. Accessory andre, it is a must. It is must required. Ad part idlebeku, that is called as accessory because of protection. And then reproductive, obviously reproductive part anka idlebeku, that is androecium and gynoecium. Then on the basis of androecium and gynoecium, we have bisexual or unisexual flower. Bisexual andre, both male and female gametes, that is what you say androecium and gynoecium are present in the same individual, which is said to be bisexual flower. And unisexual is the one, the flower either consists of androecium or else it either consists of the gynoecium, that is called as unisexual flower. In case of unisexual flower, we see inflorescence because the flowers are arranged with each other so that they can attract pollinators. Okay, and then on the basis of symmetry, we get actinomorphic, which is radial symmetry, zygomorphic, which is symmetry along any of the plane. Okay, and then asymmetric. They are not at all symmetric. Okay, so then coming for the position of the bracts. Bracts are nothing but these are the reduced leaves, okay, shorter in nature, which are found at the base of a flower. Okay, those are called as bracts. And on the presence of bracts we say flowers are either ebracteate, where we see absence of the bracts, or bracteates, where we see presence of the reduced leaf at the base of calyx. Those are called as bracts. Okay, so this is all about the previous class. So now we can proceed to our today's class, wherein we can see the further structures which are observed in case of a flower. Okay, so the further structures are: the flower can either be trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous. Okay, flower is said to be trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous because on the presence of the petals. Okay, if it has 3 petals, it can be trimerous. If it has 4 petals, it can be tetramerous, or else if it has 5 petals, then it can be said pentamerous. Okay, on the basis of petals, on the basis of all the different structures. Okay. So on the basis of petals, we can say a flower can be either trimerous consisting of 3 petals, tetramerous consisting of 4 petals, or pentamerous consisting of the 5 petals. Okay, so next coming back to position of the holes. Okay, we all know that flower consists of 4 holes: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Okay, so on the basis of position of these holes, the flower is said to be either hypogynous, perigynous, or epigynous. Okay, hypo, peri, and epigynous. I'll tell you further. What is hypogynous? Okay, in case of hypogynous, a flower is said to be hypogamous only when it consists of the ovary parts to be superior. Okay, I'll show you the picture of hypogamous over there. You can see, in case of hypogamous flower, the ovary which is at the center, that is placed superior. Okay, and on the basis of this position, the ovary is said to be superior ovary over here. That's why we say gynoecium is superior. Gynoecium is nothing but it is the female reproductive part. It consists of ovary. Okay, so ovary is superior in nature. Whereas we know that in the 4 holes we have calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. Okay, so the one ovary is said to be superior. The rest all 3 parts, calyx, corolla, and androecium, is found at the base of the ovary. Okay, in these cases, we say the flower is said to be hypogynous. Okay, so these type of flowers are found in mustard, China rose, and brinjal plants. Okay, all the plants that is mustard, China rose is nothing but you can call it as hibiscus flower. Okay, generally, so mustard, China rose, and brinjal consist of hypogynous flowers. Okay, hypogynous flowers because the ovary is placed superior, whereas the rest of the 3 parts, that is calyx, corolla, and androecium, are found at the base of ovary, and that's why we say superior ovary is found in hypogynous flowers. Is it clear? So by the name, how you can remember is, see, you get 2 words. One is hyper and other is hypo. Hyper is always said to be very high. Okay, hypo is always said to be very low. Over here we can see calyx, corolla, and androecium to be lowest in position. Okay, only the ovary is said to be highest in position. That's why hypo word over here resembles calyx, corolla, and androecium. Is it clear? So hypogynous ovary, in this we say, okay, we have gynoecium to be superior, whereas the rest of the parts to be inferior to the ovary. That's why we say gynoecium is superior over here. Example, you can take mustard, China rose, and brinjal. Okay, is it clear? So next is perigynous. Peri is somewhat equal. Okay, so in case of perigynous flowers, we see that the calyx which is situated is almost equal to the ovary in position, but not exactly equal. We say almost equal. Okay, I'll show you the picture over here. You can see in case of perigynous flowers, the gynoecium, that is the ovary part, is situated at almost equal position to the calyx. Because calyx is the lowermost position. Above calyx you get corolla, corolla in the you get androecium, androecium in the you get at the center gynoecium. That's why we say the calyx which is there, that is been terminated to the thalamus end. Okay, it is been terminated to the end of the thalamus, and those are situated at the almost equal position to the ovary in the center. So that is, we say gynoecium is half inferior. Half inferior andre it is almost equal. It is not totally inferior. Okay, that's why we say gynoecium is half inferior. And example you can take plum, rose and peach. These all flowers are perigynous. Okay, they consist of half inferior gynoecium. And then coming back to epigynous, we can say that gynoecium is inferior in position. Okay, epigynous we can say gynoecium is totally inferior in position. I'll show you the picture over there. You can see inferior andre the calyx enirtadalla, calyx forms a circular enclosure. Okay, it encloses ovary within it. Okay, this is a, say for example, if this is a calyx, in majority of the flower we see calyx to be in this position. But in case of epigynous flower, the calyx is totally encirculating, wherein we see ovary to be inside this calyx, that is inferior in position. Inferior andre totally it is been closed. Okay, inferior in position, that's why we can say in epigynous flower, gynoecium is inferior in position, wherein calyx is been terminated. Okay, and it forms an enclosure, wherein within this enclosure we find ovary. Okay, example you can take guava plant and cucumber. Cucumber and guava have the flowers which are epigynous. So is it clear? I hope it is clear to you all. So whenever you go or whenever you wander around, just look at the flower. Okay, just by looking at the flower you can say what kind of flower it is. It is either bisexual or else it is unisexual, or else it consists of symmetry. Which kind of symmetry? Actinomorphic, zygomorphic or asymmetry. Then does it has a bract or e-bracts? Okay, on the basis of bracts you can say it is a bracteate. If it doesn't has a bract you can say it is a e-bracteate. So when we come for different positions of the holes, position andre you can just look around different positions, how the flower is placed. Where is calyx, where is corolla, where is androecium and where is gynoecium. So on the basis of the position of these four holes, you can say a flower can be either hypogynous, wherein the ovary is superior in position. Okay, then we say perigynous, wherein the ovary is almost at the equal position to the calyx, that is half inferior ovary is seen. And then epigynous, wherein the ovary is totally in the basal-most region, because calyx has terminated towards the terminal ends of the receptacle. Okay, thalamus is extended to form the circular enclosure. Okay, in this class we can say it consists of epigynous flower, that is gynoecium is inferior in position. So example is a very must to remember. Okay, it is quite simple. You can take hypogynous consists of mustard, china rose and brinjal. Okay, perigynous consists of plum, rose, okay, peach flowers, and then epigynous consists of cucumbers and guava plant flowers. Okay, is it clear? So this is all about the flower, the general introduction of the flower. So now in my next video you can take the different parts of a flower. Okay, we'll study in detail what are the different parts, why they are present, what is their function. Is it clear? So thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubts you can ask me anytime and be in touch with us. Thank you.